Hello friends and welcome to Gamereactor Live. It is Friday, so it's time for the first news of the year. And
there's been no news until now,
yes,
but now they're here.
Yes, now you will get up to date.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little bit different because we're not just going to take a look at the week that just passed. We're going to take a look all the way back to Christmas before our break.
Oh yeah, sort of. But it's like the news that are a little bit older will have like the updates on it, and that sort
exactly.
of stuff.
That's for the first hour, of course. For the second hour, Nick and I will be here playing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on the PS4.
Yeah.
So our Friday night.
So what is happening with that is, Sledgehammer has announced today ranked play seasons start. So until now it's been a preseason, you can play, but it doesn't really matter. That should land today. We'll see if it's up. If not, we'll test it out and stuff. I haven't played in a while actually. There's been a lot of updates to guns and stuff, so we'll take a look at that. And
sounds good.
From next time, which is in 2 weeks, because we're switching between Destiny and Call of Duty, we'll have cool prices and stuff. But that's from next time.
Yeah. But of course, we're joined as always by Bengt Lemne through the magic of the internet, waving there.
Hello.
And shouldn't we just get this ball rolling?
I just want to tease, Bengt told a really good story about his shirt he's wearing, but that will have to wait for another time.
I mean, if anyone in the chat can identify the team, that's a gold.
Okay. You know what? We'll get them a random prize from the random box next to my desk with old games that haven't been given away.
I don't know. Maybe the resolution is good.
No, it's not. It's not. Not for me, at least. All right, let's get into it. First story of the
first
week.
News piece. PSN and Xbox Live outages during the Christmas break.
I didn't notice that.
I
noticed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I was actually like way up north, and I was playing on either for those. I think it was 4 days with PlayStation Network.
I was
something like
on,
that.
but it was spotty because I think halfway through I had 2 hours on, and then I got locked out again. So
Yeah,
and it was
and Xbox
Squad.
Live was a couple of days.
Yeah.
Yes,
let's get into it.
They're taking the credit for it anyway. You never know with these. It's not like there's an organization and everyone wears the same shirts and or dressed the same way and they all. I mean, it's a loose network of hackers who sort of band together for this. But yeah. They managed to do it. There was a little bit of a showdown with some other group that wanted to prevent them from doing it.
Yeah,
but
multiple groups. Someone tried to buy them off, and then Finest Squad was like, "No, we'll stop them from doing it." And yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on.
And there's been arrests made, but not related to this. Although, of course, obviously, since when something like this happened, that law enforcement are looking into it, but one of the people who are actually like open with his name as a member of Lizard Squad, a UK guy, was grabbed by the police for PayPal frauds from the last couple of years, alleged. That he hasn't been charged yet, so we shouldn't say that he's done it. But yeah, couple of notes here is, first of all, everyone knew this was coming. It wasn't a surprise attack. So should they have been better prepared for it? That's a question you have to ask. And
I think for something like this, when it's a DDoS attack, it's hard to really prevent this 100%. Like.
Yeah,
but what I think Xbox were better than PlayStation about communicating, and I think that's where we can look at maybe PlayStation should have been better getting that network up. But I think the first thing you can really say that everyone should be good at, and there's no excuses, is communicating out what's going on. And there were long periods of time where Sony said nothing, absolutely nothing, and that's not okay.
Yeah, and I also got the feeling that there is more of an hesitation at Sony because they've had these issues in the past, and they had the big hack, and they want to be extra sure that there's no compromise of security. until they sort of go back up with it. But it's also one of those things where, because the hackers, they say the motivation they claim is that, oh, if you only spend a little more money, and take these measures, this wouldn't, happen.
Yeah, I just want to say, to be clear, none of the services were actually hacked. They were just put down.
No, they were just,
overwhelmed by traffic.
Yeah.
So no need to worry about
no,
credit
and
card
and
numbers
that
or
way,
anything
I
like
think
that.
it's also fine that Sony keeps their service down for a few days. If they want to check that stuff, just put that out there. Say, hey, we're checking on things, we're working on it, whatever. I think that's totally fine.
But then there is, that, because that is sort of course, the official line of the hackers. You're trying to do people a favor, which is, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I think there are better ways of doing it, and especially, doing it over Christmas with a lot of people getting new consoles. And of course, if you can't go online with your consoles, you can't get the full benefit of the console.
No.
Especially with the Xbox One. I mean, you need to go online to get a lot of stuff. And the Xbox One, you get the games you get with it. It's just redeem codes.
Yeah. There's also a lot of stuff, like I heard that people in GameStops and the like, where customers came down and said, oh, my machine doesn't work, and then they had to explain to the customer, like, oh, it's because the network is not working. And
Yeah. I mean, it causes problem for everyone, because and that that is something that obviously it's a major boon to get all the attention. Mainstream media was reporting on this, and that is of course the biggest win they could ever hope for. All the attention they got for that. So what does this mean? Well, I mean, one thing that I hope that this means is that the dream of an always online console can finally be put to rest, because obviously that would make it even more tempting for anyone to attempt something like this. And could you just imagine if Microsoft had gone with the always online approach? I mean, people would have gone nuts. It would have been completely insane.
I mean,
2 days without being able to use your console over
well,
Christmas.
I almost had that experience. Yeah, 'cause this actually meant that I could investigate it a little bit. Of course, I play a lot of Destiny, and that is always online. But I am signed in on a PlayStation 4 here in the office, and one at home. And the one in the office is set as my primary. That means I can, at home, set a game to download here, and I can do different things. You can only do that on one. But what I found out, because I've been playing around with different things, is that at home, all my downloaded games doesn't work if I'm not online.
Oh.
And that is because it's not the primary. I was like, this is bad. This is basically like what Microsoft was talking about, where they don't work if you're not online. You have an hour, but that is because it's not the primary one. So I could have done that here in the office. I just think people should...
Which makes sense that only the primary one can be...
I'm in a special situation like that, that it's actually not me and a friend that's trying to cheat. I'm actually, it's for work.
But are you able to switch which one is the primary?
You have to go into the one that's the primary and turn it off before you can turn the other one on. So I could have driven to the office and turned it off, and then, but I was like, I'll play. I have a lot of...
If it had been one or two more days,
no, I actually
maybe.
wouldn't. It was a good way of it. I have Last of Us on disc, and that made me play that a lot. But and a couple other games I have on disc. But a lot of games I buy digitally. I've gotten games for free at work on disc, and then I've put it in our library and bought it myself as download because I want them as a download. And that's one thing where you need to consider that a little bit. I'm definitely happy I had a couple of games on disc, but then again, you need to. One of the games I had was Destiny, and that doesn't really help me.
No.
But yeah.
No. Yeah. But I mean, I hope that lessons were learned here. That means that they are sort of getting better to better grips with what it takes when something like this happens to sort of get back on track. Because I think 4 days is a little bit too much. I think I can probably accept that it could take a day.
Yeah.
But anything more than that is
But
yeah.
Sony has
I mean,
also
Sony did
they're
go, yeah, they
compensating.
did go out. They're compensating, as they did when PSN was out for a very long
Yeah, that was
time.
like
They
2 months.
compensate. Yeah. Of course, this wasn't anything near as serious as that, but it's good that they are acknowledging that and that
Yeah,
people
and
are
I
getting
think
something
that was
back.
5 days for everyone who was Plus at the time. So it doesn't. You
Yeah.
can't turn on a trial Plus or buy a month now and then get 5 days extra. And then,
No.
as far as I understand, the 10% off voucher you'll get is for everyone who has an account at all. So even if you didn't have Plus, you should actually get that account, as far as I understand. But I guess we'll see more in that. In the
Yeah,
coming
because
days.
of course there are people who are on PlayStation 3 who don't have Plus, but still couldn't play online, which is a free service on PS3. So they had to do something for them as well. But I don't know if Microsoft are doing anything.
Not to my
I haven't
knowledge,
heard.
but as you said, I don't
No,
think it's not as bad when it's one
no,
day.
it's something it's
Yeah.
okay. There was a little fun story that came out as a result of this, with the cops being called over the outages.
Yeah, that's the one Dory has
we've
up
had
here.
it up on the stream
Yeah,
here for a bit.
it's pretty hilarious. Of course, there hasn't been 2 arrested people so far. Maybe we should point that out. As far as I know, there's been no arrests made in connection with the actual
Actual hacking.
DDoS attack on PSN and Xbox Live so far. I'm sure they're still investigating it and looking into it, but no arrest made that I know of. Just something that was an unrelated
But
arrest.
I could also see them, they know they have this other thing on one of the guys, and then they pull them in, and that makes them get a warrant to search their stuff, and then they can prove the others. That's a very typical way of going about those things.
Yeah. If they find evidence on his stuff for this as well, they will expand that investigation. But yeah, I mean, it is a complicated thing. There's no major damage been done, although there's of course financial damage and stuff like that. But it's a big investigation to pull off across the whole world. So it's gonna take a while, and I don't see it being the top priority of any law enforcement, because it's not it's sort of a victimless crime, even though a lot of people couldn't play online. But it's there are other bad things happening in the world that law enforcement have to prioritize. So yeah, all right. I think we have covered that.
Moving on. Before we move on, though, I forgot to mention something at the top of the stream. We have actually a new chat on the site now. We are trying to abandon the IRC that we've been running since we started, basically, and now we.
Oh no, the 90s are over.
And now we
might do it in like a retro stream or something.
And now we have an integrated chat with the usernames on the site. So you sign up for the site and then just drop right into the chat.
It has different things working that makes it easier for us as well. For instance, if we run a competition, it's connected to a user, we can easily contact you, and there's a lot of things that should
also
work
when
better.
you pop in later, you will have the entire chat that you can scroll through, and then it makes it easier for us to possibly save all the chat underneath the video replay on the site, so you can also scroll through that if you watch the replay. Anyway, moving on.
As always, join the chat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So next story coming up is Zombie Studios is closing shop after 21 years. And Zombie Studios, of course, the developers of Blacklight Retribution. Most recently, they've done a lot of games over the years. I think they did a lot of the early Spec Ops games, if I'm not mistaken. They also did a game called Shadow Ops, Red Mercury. They did that Blackwater game, if you remember that. And of course, there's been a couple of Blacklight titles, and they also did.
Sorry to cut you off there, Bengt, but we're having some issues with the streaming, so we need to restart everything. So we're going to be taking
the hackers.
we're being DDoSed. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in about a minute or so. If you're watching the replay, we're back now.
I think I'm getting that from you. Okay. It's a big...
And we're back. Yeah, so let's just start the second news piece off from the top. Take it away.
Zombie Studios are closing shop after 21 years in business. You may know them best as the developers of Blacklight Retribution, the free-to-play game that's on PC and PS4. The studio has been closed down, but some of the developers have moved on to a new studio called Builderbox, where they will support Blacklight Retribution.
Yeah, they got the rights to that game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not one of those things where a developer goes bankrupt. Rather, it's the case that the owners basically wanted to retire, and so the studio has been closed for that reason. They shared a little letter. I don't know if you could put that up there.
I'll get that up right away.
But yeah, I mean, Zombie have been around for a very long time. They did some of the early Spec Ops games. They did Daylight, that you may recall, released last year. They did a weird Kinect first-person shooter called Blackwater, if you remember that. And then they did a game called Shadow Ops Red Mercury on the old Xbox.
And they also did the not so great... They've also done some stuff for the US Army.
Yes. They did
the armed forces, at least. I don't know exactly what branch it was.
Yeah, that's a dangerous thing to get.
Yeah, so I'll fix that.
Not in the army, I'm in the Marines.
It wasn't the naval, the Navy at least,
not.
I think. Maybe the Navy SEALs, who knows. Either way, it is a veteran studio, and it's nice that a studio is closed down without it being an actual bankruptcy or people, that sense. I'm sure that maybe there were some people who didn't get employed by the new studio, stuff like that. That's typically what happens, but at least it's not super dramatic. And best of luck to those continuing on with Builderbox, and thank you for 21 years to the people who are now retiring.
It's actually quite weird reading the open letter that they actually founded 4 years before Google was founded. 4 years before Half-Life was released. That's a long time.
It's a long time, and that's the thing. These early studios, they're now coming to a stage where the founders are getting into the into the retirement age, and that's that's interesting.
This actually more made me think. Google is that old? 1998. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. They took a long time to get their engine, their search engine out. I don't know when I first started using Google, but it's not that long ago. It's not 17 years ago. That's for sure. I mean, that was still the old Yahoo and Alta Vista.
No, it was all about Ask Jeeves, man. All the way. But I think it's quite nice, actually. That it seems like they had this plan for a while. Like, okay, they're going to retire, and then the core team, the support team for Blacklight Retribution, is founding their own studio.
It's a controlled close down.
It's nice to see a news piece about a studio closing down that isn't sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. Cool. Moving on. This is for all you who are keeping up to date with the indie scene. The Indie Games Festival. I would say that the the most important and
Yeah, I think this is, even if you don't really
competition.
follow the indie scene, this is a thing you might want to check out.
Because the Independent Games Festival, you know, any winner there is usually something that everyone should pay attention to. And of course, they've run for 17 years, and they have their annual award show at GDC. It's actually right before the Game Developers Choice Award, so it's sort of a dual thing that they're doing there.
Crossing fingers that I'll be there this year.
Yes, all fingers and toes crossed. Past winners of the grand prize include Monaco, Minecraft, Fez, Crayon Physics, Papers, Please last year. And it is, of course, a competition where it's both finished games and games that are in development. So whatever gets nominated and put forward is what they'll judge. I remember Monaco winning quite a long time before it actually came out.
Yeah,
so,
there are some previous winners listed here. It's like Monaco and Minecraft and Papers, Please and Fez. Fez won twice, right?
I don't think it won the grand prize twice, but it was probably in some other categories. It could have been.
I think there was some. I think it was this. It might have been different awards, but there was some talk one year where I remember it won for the second time, and people were like, "Can it win twice? That's weird."
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Fez is weird.
Yeah. But anyway, they have a lot of different categories, but of course the main category, the Seamus McNally Grand Prize, is the one to watch for. 6 nominated games: 80 Days from Inkle Studios, Invisible Ink from Clay Entertainment, Outer Wilds from the Outer Wilds team, The Talos Principle from Crow Team, Metamorphobet from Patrick Smith, and This War Mine from 11-Bit Studios. So great variation, of course. Those 6 games, perhaps The Talos Principle and This War Mine are the 2 most recognized ones.
Which one is This War of Mine again?
This War of Mine is the war game where you play as civilians during a civil war.
Yeah. It's sort of a survival adventure, you can say.
I'm also pretty excited for Clay Entertainment's Invisible Ink, mostly just because Clay Entertainment is making it.
Yes, exactly. The Don't Starve devs with a stealth game. Stealth games are, of course, a big thing in the scenes, and will be this year with Volume also coming out. So. That is interesting.
And Clay, of course, made Mark of the Ninja, which was one of the better stealth platformers of.
Yeah.
What was it? 2013 it came out.
But it's not that kind of a stealth game.
No, of course.
This is a totally different thing. But they have a lot of different games, and what's also fun for us, who hopefully will go to GDC, is that all these games that are nominated here will have a kiosk at the show floor at GDC, where we can go up and meet the devs and talk to them and possibly do interviews. So this is a list for us to sort of go through and see what devs we might run into at GDC. Let's see, there are some other ones. Shovel Knight is nominated for audio, for instance. The Sailor's Dream as well. The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. There's Framed is nominated for excellence in design, as is Killer Queen, and narrative. We've got a bunch of games that I'm not really sure of. There's the Coming Out Simulator 2014, Icebound, a novel of reconfiguration, Pry, and 3/4 Home. And then visual art, which is always an interesting category when it comes to indies, because there's usually some nice stuff in there. We got Donut County, Lumino City. It's just a game I've got on Steam that
Is that a Freudian slip?
I've got a little bit of a bad conscience. I need to boot Lumino City up. It's an adventure game. There's Else Heartbreak as well, from a bunch of Swedish indie royalties, and Memory of a Broken Dimension, and I don't even want to dare to pronounce that.
Yeah, go for it.
Okuni? Yeah,
I'm sure whatever you say is going to be wrong.
It's gonna be wrong, yes. But yeah, this is a bit of a shopping list for people who are interested in indie. Just go through these games, check them out, see.
And
Some of them are out already.
It's actually funny about that category, excellence in visual arts. Like reading through the nominees, and then reading through the honorable mentions. I know more of the honorable mentions.
Yes.
Crawl, Hyperlife Drifter, Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Future Unfolding is a game we've also covered on VRTV.
Anyway.
So yeah, but that is also one of the nice things about the IGF. They get, I think there were 650 games that they selected from this year, so they do a lot of the hard work, and then we can step in and say, oh, maybe we need to look closer at these.
Yeah.
So that is nice. But yeah, if you are curious about the next big indie games, this is the place to watch. And I think that the award show is on March 6th, so the Wednesday at GDC, during GDC. All right, moving right along. We have some potentially troubling news from the Japanese market. It's actually the lowest it's been. The console market in Japan is actually the lowest it's been in 24 years.
Like the amount of sales.
Yes, the amount of money that is sales that generated for all consoles. It was 369 billion yen, and this can compare to the high during this 24 years, which was in 2007 when it was 688 billion yen. So it's almost halved since 2007, and that is problematic. The big best-selling game in 2014 was Yokai Watch 2 Ganzo from Honkai and Level 5. From Level 5, I should say. And next to that was Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That was about 500,000 behind that. And then came Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate.
But yeah,
Super
notice
Smash Bros.
Almost all these games are 3DS games.
Yes. 3DS is very
and
dominant.
All these games are on Nintendo platforms.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yes. Yes. There is nothing but Nintendo.
In the top 10.
And there is actually... Yeah. And there's actually only two stationary games. There's two Wii U games. The rest is 3DS. But it should be said that it's not. These are great numbers for Nintendo, but it's not like Nintendo just shot off to the stars and the other ones. It's more like the other ones have sunk.
But it's also we haven't had any big Japanese games on the new consoles.
No.
And so with
the new console we have.
So when something like Final Fantasy 15 launches. I see this being a little bit different.
A little bit different, but the problem is that the PS3 never really took off in Japan. Yeah. So, they still have that problem to sort of deal with. PS Vita hasn't taken the position of PSP yet either. Of course, the PSP had some really big sellers, so they have multiple problems to deal with there. I think Nintendo are pretty happy, but still it's not like Super Smash Bros. On Wii U sold less than 500,000. That's nowhere near where you of course it's early days, but it's nowhere near where they had it on Wii or on GameCube. So it's a problematic time for the Japanese market, and of course the number one blame is the people are spending money on mobile and tablet titles.
But that's just the way Japan is going, it's phones and handhelds.
Yep. They were very early with the mobile games, and it's very big there now. So and a lot of money as well. It's not just it's free to play stuff, but people pay money to do it. I mean, the Puzzle and Dragons and stuff is just huge over there. So it is what it is. And maybe we should go through the hardware sales as well. 3DS sold just over 3 million last year. The PS Vita sold 1.1 million. PlayStation 4 900,000. Wii U 600,000. PlayStation 3 450,000. And it's just gone over 10 million in Japan, and the Xbox One was 46,000.
Looking at this, like the Vita is number 2, and like the Vita outsold the Xbox One like insane. That's just this is a different world.
I mean the PlayStation Vita outsold the Wii U, and still
it outsold the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all about handheld in Japan.
Yeah, of course it is. And even though, PlayStation 4 didn't have the full year, and of course Xbox One only had since September, I think, the writing is on the wall. Yeah. Japan is all about the handhelds. And
but I mean, I don't think the PlayStation 4 is not that bad. I think it's if Wii U had done better as well, like it's
yeah. I mean, it's problematic because, of course, if you multiply 925,000 by, say, 6-7 years, that is nowhere near.
No, but I'm just thinking with the amount of games that are out on PS4 that you would think Japan is interested in, then I'm not really surprised. So that could be an okay number when some of those games come out, if they are coming out.
Yeah, I mean, the next big one is Dragon Quest Heroes. I think that could do something for the PlayStation 4 sales in Japan, coming out in February, I think. So that's the next big one that could actually really help sales. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think it says a lot that the Wii U has sold less than the PlayStation 4, and yet some of the Wii U games are on the top list. So. It is because people is spread out with the games. The people don't really know what games to get on the PS4.
But yeah, so moving right along to something that I think Nick might have something to say about. News broke this week from a Game Informer article that there will be a companion character in Uncharted 4, and multiplayer was also confirmed.
We talked a little bit about it the other day in the preview show. So if you want more info on that, you can go watch that as well. But yeah, I think it's interesting. I don't know. What do you think, Bengt?
It is, of course, if there's one developer who can pull off, you always get that sinking sensation in your stomach. Companion character,
I
really?
think the wording makes it sound worse. Ellie was very capable in Last of Us, and I don't necessarily think it's going to be the same as it was in Last of Us.
No, but that's the thing I'm saying. Like Naughty Dog, probably the developer that I'm most confident will be able to do a good companion character out of everyone, just because what they did with Last of Us. But still, it's like, we don't really know how it will fit with the Uncharted sort of concept, the game world and the universe. Will it change something?
I will say we've had, in past games there hasn't been one character through the whole game that followed you, but you had periods where Elena was with you. You had, I think an amazing part of Uncharted 2 was the whole Tencent part that worked really great. That was like
the opposite of an escort mission. Yeah. You were following him the entire
And then
time.
you got to the village part where you were just, nothing happened. It was just quiet and stuff. So and I think Ellie is so awesome in Last of Us, where you fight enemies and then you see her come in from the side, help you out. If she actually helps you if you're about to be downed and throws a brick or knife someone, and that I think really added to it. That didn't feel like the thing. Oh, I have to watch this character. So this could be better than it would be without a companion character.
And we really don't know. I mean, obviously they showed off a good slice of the game, and there was no companion character there. So maybe it's going to be one of those things where you have the companion at certain parts of the game, where it makes sense for the narrative and where it makes sense for what's going on. But it sounded like that it's going to be a major part of the game, and this is, of course, Nathan Drake's long-lost brother, Sam. Yeah. So we'll get that. That'll likely be a major part of the story as well, and getting to know him again, I guess. Yeah. But there's also things that we sort of saw in that demo that we understood, that there will be multiple paths across the levels, and that the AI has been definitely overhauled and going to be more more communication and hopefully a more interesting challenge this time around. So
yeah, and at least from what they showed during the gameplay was that going through a zone, you don't need to go through it and kill everyone.
No.
No.
You know, you can.
Yeah.
And you know, often it's either you stealth through, or if you get noticed, then you need to kill everyone.
Yeah,
Here it's kind of like, you know,
what could
just getting
potentially
through
be
the-
really cool here is the thing that always sort of annoys me in stealth games, and I don't want Uncharted to only be a stealth game, but I always play, you know, try to not be discovered, and then if you get discovered, at least how I play is either a reset and go back to the checkpoint and redo it, or I just start killing everyone because you're discovered and you can't go back to how it was. This looks like they're looking for you, and then at one point they'll sort of go back to their normal thing. So you can actually, if you manage to hide a bit, go back to stealth, which could be super awesome.
It's a little bit like Hitman in that way, I guess. Yeah, but you know, very promising game, of course, and we'll let you know as soon as we know anything more about it.
And the multiplayer, again, I think for most people is not the most important thing, but it's been fun in the past. You
know, multiplayer is something it's not going to be the main focus of what anyone is going to write about or talk about before the game launches, but they've managed to put out great multiplayer in the past, and there's no reason to think that this would be any exception to that. So. Next story up is a new studio has been formed in France called Big Bad Wolf, and it's made up of former Ubisoft employees and veterans from Cyanide and Blizzard, and it's based in Bordeaux. So we have some quotes on what they're working on. They're working on a new dark IP that's coming on PC, PS4, Xbox One. It's inward-looking, dark, mature, and set behind closed doors.
Set behind closed doors?
Yes. So apparently, maybe it's sort of like a political thriller.
Maybe it's like 12 Angry Men?
Yeah. I have no idea. But either way, sounds like a studio to watch and see what they've got planned. We got a really, really blurry image there. That seems to suggest that there's going to be knee-high socks in the game. I think that's what I can make from it.
Which one of these characters are wearing knee-high socks?
The one in the foreground. Oh, and the other ones too, you can kind of see.
But that looks like jeans to me in a coat.
It cuts off at the knees.
But that's a long
it's
coat.
Slimmed.
Okay.
We'll see.
Maybe it's tight.
We'll start some rumors.
It's knee-high socks or tights.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or I mean, if I'm wearing shorts, I'm looking like that. That's how pale I am. So I'm just putting that out there.
You blue?
Yeah. You know, in the right light, that's the way it looks.
Okay. Let's not delve too deep into that. All right. So another story to break just after New Year's was the fact that Sony has confirmed that they've now sold 18.5 million PS4 consoles worldwide, and that is sold through to consumers.
Yeah, that is insane.
We obviously don't have the numbers for any one of the competition. You know, Microsoft released the number that they had sold through to retail 10 million early November, I think. So they're obviously lagging behind.
Don't you think they'll let us know when they hit 10 million sold through to
I don't
consumers?
think they want to, because they said 10 million last time. I don't think they want to say 10 million again. But they'll have to release. I think their next report is in February or something. So we'll get the shipped numbers then, and they will of course be higher than 10 million. So
but it's just the ship stuff is just it doesn't really matter.
No. I mean, it's all about the sold through. Shipped is it depends on who it is, of course, but usually it's a couple of million or 1 million behind. So that is you can sort of, because you don't want to send out too many consoles obviously to stores, but it's not like it's gonna be 10 million shipped, we've sold 5. That would make zero sense. But it is probably a couple of million that's in the channel that's not been sold yet. And we see here, they had some other numbers as well. 4.1 million of those were sold during the holiday period. And they have 10.9 million PS Plus subscribers now, which is a number that is increasing.
That's actually surprisingly low to me.
Is it? Is it really?
Like only half the people who own a PS4 has Plus?
I mean, it's a little bit more than half, 18.5
yeah,
and
but then
10.
you're assuming there's no one with a PS3 that has Plus that doesn't have a PS4. There's going to be some of those as well.
Some of those, but I think that most of the people who had PS Plus on PS3 have probably bought a PS4. So I don't think there's that much of a lap over, and I think 50% is.
I just thought it would be like 1 million or 2 higher than that, but yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
And maybe that's something that will increase. You know, people find out that they got it. They got the console for Christmas. They didn't get PS Plus. They're getting it a little bit later. There's probably a little bit of a lag in that number.
And I guess the service being down doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't help. You know, when people get a new console and they go online and they can't buy PS
also
Plus,
another thing, the Plus games we got really strong on PS3. We haven't really gotten the big games yet on PS4. We were promised Drive Club
this month.
Yeah, this month is where it's starting. We were promised Drive Club, didn't get that, and that I think, as you were saying, January is where it's beginning to be some of those games, but we haven't seen that in the past, so that could boost it quite a bit as well.
I certainly think so, and but still, I think if at the end of the generation, if they can keep 50% of PS4 owners on PS Plus, I think Sony will be super happy with that. That is about where Microsoft were at with Xbox Live. And it's as best.
I just thought beginning, as you were talking about as well, is some of the more hardcore, and more of them would have Plus, but yeah.
People probably buy the console first, and then they decide whether they're gonna get PS Plus or not. And,
get
so
Plus, it's really good.
It is, and to be honest, it's worth it even if you don't plan on playing a lot online, because you get the games, and that is enough. Plus, the cloud saving stuff and all those things that are extras as well. Sort of related, but not really, is the fact that PlayStation Now, that launched in the US last year.
Oh, that was beta last year, right?
Yeah, I think
this is the first proper launch of it. I think the other stuff was beta.
Yeah, it was a beta.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's going out of beta now or what the I think maybe it's still sort of a work in progress. But they've added a new payment structure, at least. The rental prices were kind of ridiculous, if you remember.
Yeah, so before you could rent individual games for a day, 2 days, and up to 90 days. And now there's a subscription that you can pay. I think the minimum you can buy is
Of course, there is.
you can buy 1 month is $20, I think, and you can get 3 for $45, which means it will be $15 a month. Yeah.
Yes, and that is, of course, much more reasonable, and it it is what people wanted from the beginning. It's still quite a lot of money to pay for old games, and currently it is they've got just over 100 games, PS3 games you can play on PS4. Of course, that is as far as the service goes right now, but they're looking, of course, on PS Vita as well, and they're looking on other devices as well.
PlayStation TV, smart TVs, you can play them on there.
And also PS2 games, PS1 games. So they're looking to expand that. But currently it is 100 plus PS3 games. Not all of them super great. I noticed some.
And as it says here in the trailer, we just showed you can get a 7. I guess it's US only now, but everyone can get a 7-day free trial there.
Yes. And it launches on January 13th. This sort of service. So starting from then, you can get a 7-day.
All right, let me just say this. Sony, if Sony's listening, this is what you need to do. If you're a Plus member, it's $10 a month for if you buy a minimum of 3 months. Then it's down in that range where I would probably not use this, and I would pay $10 a month just to have access to it. And then you would get people buying Plus to get that discount as well and boost that number as well. If it makes sense if they're losing money, of course.
I think that what they want to do is to get people to sign up to it, and a lot of people to do it, rather than having few people do it for for a bigger price. They should lower the price. At $10 is something you can pay every month just to have the access.
Because if it's really expensive, the people who pay for it will use it a lot. If you make it cheap, a lot of people will pay for it and not use it.
Yeah, so it gets cheaper for them as well to maintain, actually. So that is the way to do it, I think. We still don't really know what the plans are for Europe. We know that in 2015 it will launch in the UK. That's where it will start in Europe. We don't really have any more information than that, but hopefully they'll get a beta going soon, and it's going to be interesting to see where it goes and what publishers want to be part of this. Obviously, not all publishers are too keen on this at the moment, but obviously Sony games are going to be on there. I think Sega have their games on there. There are a few other small publishers as well that are on there.
Another thing is, as far as I understood from what I read, there's also the thing of cloud saves and stuff. So if you rent it a bit and then come back later, your save should be there and stuff like that, which is really cool. But let me pitch this idea, which I would hope this comes. If I buy a game on PS3, let's say I buy the Uncharted trilogy, that should be free on PlayStation Plus for me. Do you think that would work? Because that would make me buy PS3 games digitally still.
And all the PS3 games that you've gotten through PS Plus should be unlocked automatically on.
I don't know about that. That would be great, but I don't know if that's if that would work for them. But I could see that whole thing, buying old games. I would buy games I have on disc on that just to stream them to my PS4.
Yeah, I think that technically it's probably possible.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they can differentiate between if you've bought it or you got it free on PS Plus. I think.
Oh, that's true.
Basically, you bought it.
It's just if they could do that, they could lower their cost for PlayStation Plus, because for PlayStation Plus, I'm assuming they have to acquire some sort of license for it from the developers in order to be able to give it away. But if they've already made the deal that the game is on PlayStation Now, it's not an extra cost for them to unlock it for you.
I think it works differently. They haven't been clear about it, but as far as I understand from talking to developers, they get amount of money per game that is downloaded on Plus, which is why it doesn't automatically download. Okay. So it's not like a set amount. Okay. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff going on with that.
I think there are different solutions, different ways, but I also think that it may be. I think in those cases where it's a sum per game, that is probably much easier to sort to get it for free on PS Plus now. But if it's one sum and you pay the developer, okay, we'll pay you this amount of money to get it on PS Plus, then they can't move it anywhere else.
I do know that they can't differentiate it whether you have it on Plus or not. Because if I've bought some games on PlayStation Plus and I've gotten some free, if my Plus subscription lapses, the games I bought on Plus or gotten for free on Plus will be locked out.
That's true.
Of course, then there's the thing with if you bought it with a discount, they can't differentiate with that because those you will keep. So yeah.
But I think that it's technically possible, but the real key thing would be whether it's possible.
Yeah, I don't think they'll do it, but I just really like that, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the idea of buying it once and getting access to it is something that should be promoted. But
and for a lot of people, this would be buying it again,
Yeah. I mean, yes, but that is also why the subscription is a better model for it, because you pay for you can, in your mind, you're paying for all those games that you haven't bought.
Yeah, so. I was just saying I could see myself. Again, I have the Uncharted trilogy on disc. I could see myself buying those digitally and then some months maybe paying to rent some other games. So they would get money out of me for buying these games digitally that I already have, so I can stream them. I'm probably not going to pay the subscription all the time, because at least at this price, but I could see myself doing it a month or two if I wanted to play some old games in that period.
I think that is where it is for me right now with these prices. It's like if I got a month where I know there's not a lot of other things I'm gonna play, and I feel like maybe I'm maybe I'm getting an operation and I'm recovering from it or whatever. You know, this is like this is a good thing to just do for 1 month.
Exactly. I
Get
would
all
do
the
it.
access, play
I
what
don't know
you
if
want to do.
I guess Uncharted is on here. I don't know if all 3 of them are on here. I could see myself, paying the month before Uncharted 4 comes out and playing through those games on my PS4 instead of playing them on PS3. That's the sort of way I would do it.
Yeah, and it is at this price. It's not perhaps you'll do it every month, and also like if you do it every once in a while, the next time you come in, there's going to be a ton more new things for you. Whereas from month to month, maybe there won't be that much of a difference in terms of the library. But we'll see where this goes. I mean, certainly, I think that once they finally make it over to our countries up here in the Nordics, hopefully the service will just have a ton more games, and they'll have PS2 games and PS1 games, and it'll be more fleshed out, because once that gets into it, the value will be much better for anyone who gets it.
Yeah. All right. Next news, please.
Oh, we're actually running out of time. How many do we have left?
Yes, we have 4, so 2 minutes each.
Damn.
Right.
Okay.
This is one for Dory, I guess. Over the holidays, Steam broke the concurrent user record a couple of times, and the new record just managed to claw its way over the 8.5 million mark, and that is 8.5 million players online with Steam at the same time playing games, and
playing,
that is
not
quite
just online, right?
No. Nope, it is actually in a game, playing a game.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, otherwise it would be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think Steam has something like 60 million users or something like that, or maybe it's more. But it's not quite 100 million yet, I know that. So a lot of them spend a lot of time playing over the holidays. Most played game, as usual, it's almost always in the top, is Dota 2. And Counter-Strike Global Offensive was second, and then games, more normal numbers for games like Football Manager, Team Fortress 2, Garry's Mod, Skyrim, Civilization 5, Arma 3.
That's a lot of old
Payday
games
2.
though. That's really surprising.
It
There's
is.
none of the new
It
ones.
is, but it's also the games, of course, that went on the sale and that people play. But yeah, I mean, certainly there's not a ton of really new games. The new Football Manager is new, of course, but I think that's the only one that's been released in the top 10 that's been released in 2014. So
and it's just
certainly
it's
a lot
also
of old
funny
games.
just how much Valve stuff is at the top. With Dota 2, with Counter-Strike, Team Fortress 2, Garry's Mod in a way. I mean, it's not made by them, but it's based on all their assets.
Yes.
Let's see. Counter-Strike
Vanilla
again.
Counter-Strike,
Counter-Strike Source as well.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But I mean,
Left 4
that
Dead
is
2
also...
is a bit lower down, but still there.
Yeah. I mean, that is also the foundation of Steam is there. But I guess almost all players have those games on Steam. So it is what it is. But yeah.
All right.
And
let's move along to the.
Moving on. It was announced by us2, the developers of Monument Value, that only 5% of the Android installs of the game were actually paid for, which leads to a whopping 95% not being paid for. The number on iOS, on the other hand, was 40%. So still majority not paid for.
That surprises me on iOS that many people know how to get that for free.
There is a little bit of a caveat, and that is the game was free for 1 day on Android.
I was about to ask for that.
And I assume it's also been free on App Store. So usually when it's free, that means a hell of a lot of downloads. So it could be that it's probably not quite as horrible as these numbers make it out, but certainly it is problematic, and especially on Android. And some developers are choosing not to bring out their games on Android.
Or at least they often put it out on iOS first, probably because then, okay, if people want it early, they'll have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although
and it's not a priority to put it out on Android. It's because you don't make as much money there. So.
But I just want to point out that even though 5% of all the people that have the game paid for it, that does not mean that 95% of Android users are pirates.
No.
No, it's probably higher than that.
No, but I mean, there's of course a special. The audience that play a lot of games on Android is a special audience, and you can't make an assumption that all Android users are like people who download Monument Valley, because I would assume that is it's pretty hardcore crowd, and they are pretty, adept at sort of getting these piracy things going.
Yeah.
So
Adu in the chat is asking, isn't this game free on iOS? Yeah, it was a limited free download.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I haven't. I'm probably gonna play it. I plan to.
No, I don't think it's free.
There's maybe there's a trial version of
Lee?
it.
Can you hear me? Lee?
No,
I think
he
it's
can't
like
hear you.
he's listening to
it's
music.
actually I think I'm gonna check it out on my phone right now. But
Is
but I
Monument
think
Valley
it
free
is.
on iOS?
No, I think it's 20 Danish kroners.
Yeah. No, it's
There's
not.
probably
it's-
like a trial version.
Yeah, because it's actually quite high price for what it is. It's a fairly short game, so in that way it's a little bit premium.
Yeah.
But that's the state of the Android business, I
Yes,
guess.
next news, please.
All right. Yeah.
Next one is sort of a rumor. There was alleged Destiny DLC details leaked for 2015. And these would include something called House of Wolves.
All right, let me explain that quickly.
Yeah.
So, Destiny came out, they had announced 2 DLC drops. The first one we just got over Christmas, the new strike.
Yeah.
There's a similar one coming out in March, which is House of Wolves. That is a new raid, a couple of strikes, a couple of PvP maps. What is leaked here is that in the fall, a year after the you could say vanilla Destiny has been released, there will be a bigger expansion called which is what they call a comet. It's something that Bungie has used before as a word for sort of an expansion. So what it looks like will happen is every other year we'll get a full Destiny with 2 DLC drops, and then the year after we'll get a comet, which is a bigger expansion, then followed by 2 DLC drops. So that is what has sort of been leaked. A couple of things. This has been apparently been out for a while, but has been on some Italian forum, but then recently got discovered by other sites. So it's not something new, and the word comment is something that's been used for a while.
Of course, it is also a little bit when you see these things, you think like, how would someone fake it? It would probably be using some of the words the Bungie have used in the past, and then a very blurry picture. So it has all the hallmarks of a sort of a nice little fake there as well. So we don't really know.
There's a couple other
this
things
is.
now I don't remember actually, but because I read up on this a little bit ago, and
the picture is
there
very
was.
blurry.
I think they use a word for what today is called the fire team, the group you're in. I think they used a word that Bungie used way back. So this could also be just way old, information, which means it could be changed. But again, it seems very reasonable. There will be a bigger expansion or a Game of the Year edition or something coming out at some point this year, and then more expansions. And they are.
It also ties into what was, of course, made public at that trial between Activision and Respawn.
And I think Comet is being used in some of those papers as well.
Yeah.
But they've said it's a 10-year plan, so it makes a lot of sense. Is that all the Destiny stuff we have on there?
Yeah.
So.
I just want to say quickly, there was another update yesterday from Bungie. A lot of the bugs that's been since the DLC came out are being fixed on Tuesday. All the ways you can cheese the new raid are being fixed. They're changing some drops. If you play the old raid, you will now get the new versions of the guns that are like full 331 damage instead of the old damage level, and Iron Banner is next. is back next
All
week.
right.
So that's sort of you can go read it. I think we have a news piece on it, but Bungie just had that update with that. All coming Tuesday for the weekly reset.
All right, cool. But is it Destiny next week?
Yes.
On Friday nights? Yeah.
I'm now thinking of changing it. We might play the Iron Banners. That's there that week. But my plan is we'll play through the 2 raids on Friday next week. We'll play through the first one, and I want Dory to play it with a couple other people who haven't played it before. So we sort of go through it, see how the experience is for people who don't really know a lot about it, maybe have seen it, and I'll be here to sort of guide, but also letting people figure some things out a little bit itself, and then do the DLC raid 2 weeks after. I think that would be a lot of fun, especially now that you'll get the better weapons.
Yep.
And then Dory will be able to use my character, unless he wants to level up a character for for next Friday.
So. No.
All right. So next time we have something on Destiny, don't ask Nick any questions because it derails the whole schedule there. One last story on the rumor mill as well as the last one. We should say underline that was a rumor. We don't know if it's true, but the rumor here is that Shadow Realms, the game that was announced by BioWare Austin at Gamescom last year, is being rebooted already. Not been announced very long, but according to Kotaku, the game is rebooted and made some major changes. Of course, it's much like Evolve and Fable Legends. It's a 4 versus 1 sort of a dungeon crawl RPG, and it was meant to sort of see episodic releases on PC, with the first episode scheduled for 2015. But according to these sources, it is now getting a full campaign, and the release date is set for 2017. And the game will also be coming out on PS4 and Xbox One. So we have no official word on this yet, but maybe it makes sense. There was also some of the things that were being mentioned was that because they had planned not to use Origin and those kind of things with Shadow Realms, they were getting a smaller budget because EA wants all their internal dev teams to use Origin and to use their own stuff. And apparently they've reversed that decision and such. They've gotten a bigger budget and then they can do this a little bit of a bigger project. So could be good news.
I think another part of that is that it will be coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah,
they will be getting a bigger budget to get that done.
Yes, absolutely. That they will need a bigger budget to do that. But they never ruled
bigger.
out. Yeah, they never ruled out PS4 and Xbox One when it was announced. It was just that PC was the main platform and what they were focusing on, and they never ruled anything out. But so we'll see what happens with Shadow Realms. It's certainly an interesting project, and anything that's from BioWare it's always of interest.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens there. I think that's it for me. We're running over time, and you guys need to get on Call of Duty.
Yes.
We do.
Thanks for joining, Bengt. See you next week.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a nice weekend.
Yes.
And that means that we are going to cut away just for a little bit while we change around a little bit in the studio. So we will be back in 30 seconds or less.
Bold statement.
Hello and welcome back to Gamereactor Live. We're just about to start up GR Friday nights.
Yes.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare on the PS4.
I'll do it again, just for the peeps. Check for update. Latest version installed. Go into the playlist, rank playlist. It's still pre-season, so I guess in an hour or two, maybe even later tonight, we'll get it. So we are still in pre-season. I think we should probably jump in and take a look at how that is played.
It'll probably drop right as we say our farewells at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I would probably think realistically they often drop not just Call of Duty but updates at 10 a.m. Pacific, which would be 7 o'clock Danish time, which is an hour after we're done. But this, I had sort of planned this as a little bit of a pre-stream anyway, where I'm going to talk to Activision about getting prizes for the next time and stuff like that. But I think it's a good opportunity. I haven't played Call of Duty in a while. I have followed the competitive scene quite a bit though. So I think we'll talk a little bit about where the game is at, try rank play, talk about that, and also we could talk a little bit about Call of Duty Championship, which has been announced, and how if you feel like you're really good, maybe you want to set up a team and qualify for it, because that is possible around the world.
Get that cash money.
Yes, and I think, I mean, realistically, if you're watching this, you're probably not going to win Call of Duty Championship. But
maybe 2 years from now.
But maybe you'll qualify, because there's actually rules about a certain amount of teams. Like we will have a team from the Nordics. We'll have a certain amount of teams from different countries in Europe. So it's doable to actually get a trip.
Isn't there also one about having like a mixed team? There was a mixed team.
That's a different rule. Before the rule was you had to have 2 members of the nationality of the country that is being qualified.
Okay.
Now they've changed that to 3. Probably partly because last year we saw one team that was counted as the Russian team. That was 2 of the best UK players. And I think there was a separate team that was half another nationality.
Yeah.
So now the rule is for teams that they need to have 3 people from. So in the Nordic qualification,
how many are on
there's
a team?
4 in a team.
4 in a team. Yeah.
So
the majority.
So last year we would have 1 team from the Nordics. It's the same this year. You would have a Swedish team. So we need 3 from the Nordics. So it means it could be Danish and Norwegian, and but you could have 1 UK player on there. And actually we have one of the biggest US teams this year. Actually have just traded and gotten one of the best UK players. So and the other one on that team is actually originally Canadian, so they were getting into a problem, but he just got married. It's a different story. But so there's some things you have to think about that. But I think for most teams it's not gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the qualification starts I think in a few weeks, yeah. So what has happened since we've played Call of Duty is there has been some buffs and nerfs. And before, the best gun was the BAL. I didn't use it all the times. There's situations it's also use the gun you like, but the BAL was the best gun overall. They have nerfed that and they've buffed some weapons. One of the guns that has been nerfed or buffed is the submachine gun, the ASM-1. So I think we should try out both the BAL and the ASM-1. That is mostly the 2 weapons the pros are playing with at the moment. So if we're gonna play ranked, we should try to play how we'll probably work against them. I've prestiged once, I think maybe twice, and now I need to remember what is actually. I don't think UAV is actually allowed in. I'll see if we can see that out here in ranked. No, it doesn't say here.
It doesn't say the esport rules.
No, but I'm pretty sure they can't use UAV. Often when I play pubs, I use the low profile, which means I'm not tracked on a UAV because I hate that. But I think let's do.
This screen right here is the most difficult
part of Call of Duty
for me.
All right, you know what? Let's go all the way back to basics. I've actually earlier today I've cleared all my classes. As you can see here, they're empty because I wanted to do this. So let's go through it. I think let's start out with a battle class. That's an assault rifle class.
First off, what I realized after playing for about 2 weeks on the PC is up at the top you have 13 points.
That was one of the biggest announcements last year at Gamescom, was that they took the system that was called Pick 10 in Black Ops 2. There you had Pick 10 where you could pick all your stuff, and then you had kill streaks or score streaks on the side. They now took the score streaks and put into that. That's 3 you had. So you have 13 points to pick with as we pick stuff. that number goes up. You can see I've picked 0 out of 13. So let's pick the BAL. That's an assault rifle.
Yeah. And do all the guns take the same amount of points?
Primaries, yes. Yeah. So we'll go through that. This is the basic BAL. I think in competitive you can't use the other versions. You can get ones here that are different. I don't have a lot of them. I think you use this one. This is just a skin I think I got for pre-ordering the special edition. So let's just use the standard version either way. That's 1 point. So it is, I thought it might be 2 for a primary, but it's 1 for each. Attachments, I have unlocked a little bit on this one. I'm gonna run with grip and quick draw. And I think I'm actually gonna do...
Actually, which account are you on right now?
On mine.
Okay, so we need to change the graphic.
Oh yeah, because
right
I thought...
that's wrong.
Yeah.
So it's Wicked Nick.
Yes.
On PSN.
I think quick draw and foregrip are the ones you need to use. Some people like running a scope. Red dot, for instance, is very popular. I don't like running that. I think I'm gonna use, have I unlocked that? No, another thing you could is stock. But let's just run foregrip, less recoil, and quick draw means you get the gun up quicker. So let's run those two. You can see here there's a little symbol in here, the yellow thing. Yeah. If I press on that, I pick a wild card down in the bottom, primary gunfighter. That means I'm running 3 attachments. I'm not gonna do that. So one of the mistakes you made was you had 3 attachments on, and then you decided, because let's say I pick a red dot. Now I have 5 points, and you're like, oh, I need to remove 1 to have room for all my stuff. So you deleted it, and you're down to 4, but you're actually wasting 2 on this, so you forgot to delete this one as well. So you'll be down to 3. Okay. So that's the thing to remember when you're playing. Yeah. So running 2. The next thing I think most important thing is the gun, primary gun. The second thing is the perks. If they're not using UAVs, I think lightweight is really good. Run faster is a fast game. The other thing is flak jacket. You don't die as much from grenades. Overcharge boosts your exo abilities. Yeah, so you can I think to start with, I'm going to do lightweight. We might change
I genuinely take lightweight.
Yeah, it's a lot of people run that. But let's see if we pick an exo ability we like, we might want to extend that. Yeah. Perk 2. See. I don't really think that's important. No. Blind eye.
That I use almost
in pubs. I use it all the time, but as there's not a lot of score streaks being used in ranked, I think we're not going to pick that. This one I like a lot as well. If people are
oh yeah, they have the thermal scope.
Yes, and in pubs, the threat grenade is super annoying. That's the red one you throw, and then it paints everyone, and then can see you through walls. Yeah. Another thing that I think is underrated, but it's a big reason I like to run this actually over other things, is the no name or reticle color change when targeted. So when you scope in and you point at someone, if it's an enemy, you see a red name above them. That is how most people notice where you are at a distance. Snipers use it a lot. That you can often not tell
if it's a friend or foe.
Or you won't notice people in
because they'll blend into the surroundings.
But if a name pops up, oh, there's a guy there.
Yeah, pop.
So I have a lot of success running this. So I think we should do that. Perk 3, I think this is the no-brainer. You can remove these if you don't want. The thing is, it takes up 1 here, so it's not a lot. If you want to run 2, you pay another one to open the ability to run 2. Yeah. So it costs more for the second one. But the no-brainer, what you need to do every time is run toughness, which means you don't flinch, and blast suppressor, which means that you don't pop up on the mini-map whenever you use your exo. You need to have those on, unless there's a big reason to run something else. Yeah. This is like this and your gun, and then you can sort of look at everything else. Let's start with ability. So they just banned cloak and stim in competitive.
Oh yeah.
Stim is a little bit extra health and it regens faster, and cloak is
invisible.
Yeah, almost invisible at least. So I don't know here if there's anything. A lot of people run if it's S&D or something where people use a lot of nades. Trophy is good. Destroys the nades that are coming in. Overclock, more speed is good. I think we should probably do trophy. The games we're going to end up playing are Search and Destroy, Hardpoint, Capture the Flag, and Uplink. And I think in both Search and Destroy and Hardpoint, you will see a lot of nades. So that's half the games. Probably pretty good. Exo Launcher. Let's run, I don't know.
Tracking drone.
Yeah, but that's banned.
Ah.
So here, frag is okay, stun is okay, Semtex is okay. That's just a frag with the, I don't know, MP I think is okay. Threat was the one.
They banned the variable grenade?
I think so, because, let's see, threat is banned. So you can use, I haven't unlocked smoke. You can use smoke and stun, but there's threat on here, so you can't use it.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to run stuns. It looked like a lot of pros were running that at the last tournament. That was last weekend. A lot of score streaks are banned, so I think I'm not going to waste any on that either. I don't really feel like a remote turret. It's like, that means we have 2 points. We can either get one perk either here or here, or we can get secondary. So I think let's try to do a secondary probably. Let's just do this. And I don't have anything unlocked, so you know what, we'll just use 12. I want to use it on something else after, because I don't remember which ones of these are actually allowed, and I don't think we're going to get a long kill streak.
Jerusalem Poo in the chat is asking, are we going to play COD tonight or should I get back to Destiny? I think yes, a point is maybe taking them.
I mean, if you want, we're going to be playing in a little bit.
Yeah.
If he wants to join.
Yeah, so add Wicked Nick on PSN and we should be in a game
in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do one more class, which is basically the same. I'm going to do ASM1. I don't have anything unlocked for that. I'm going to put on lightweight. I'm going to put on cold-blooded. I'm going to put on toughness and blast suppressor. So this is basically the same I'm going to do to begin with. Trophy, double stuns. I'm going to put on the flak jacket here as well.
Yep.
And I'm going to put on a secondary. I think that's it. And then I'm thinking, let me just look at this quickly. I think we're just going to run with this, and then we can sort of try them and change it if we want. Then we don't have the other class, but I feel like then we'll do variations of this when we've played a little bit.
Exactly. See how it works out.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. There was one more. Oh, let's just do. Oh yeah, I wanted to show this. They've also weeks ago, but since we last played, done daily challenges, and you will get a supply drop if you complete that. So we'll see if we can win 3 hardcore games. Let's jump into the rank play to begin with and see what happens. So this should be 4v4 instead of 6v6, which is what normally is played in pubs.
Start with the bow.
Let's just see. It's S&D. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So there will be no communication here, which is so needed, but we'll see how it goes. And these are the same maps in this playlist that are being used in the tournaments. So yeah, also, if you're not going to make it this year as a competitive player, but it's a good way of testing, getting a touch, a feel for how it is playing competitive. And it does play different being 4v4 instead of 6v6. Let's see here. So you see these. So you see here. UAV is banned. Bombing run is not. So I can actually use a lot of these. But let me spawn in and don't get left too much behind. So I'm on defense. I'm gonna check of course there's 2 bomb sites. See if they're gonna watch A a little bit. They're nading here. So they're probably gonna go A. Maybe they're just checking. So we're 2 down. So now I'm last alive.
And shot on the back.
One thing that I should have put on here, that is I should have a class for S&D, is mute. Where, as you could hear, I don't know if you could hear, but you could hear my footsteps. You can turn that off temporarily. See, as soon as I run out, they get me. Now we flip, so we're in offense. We flip every round in competitive, where in pubs you play first to 4 and you switch after 3. Here you switch every round and play first to 6.
The guys in the chat are asking why no party. Should we
We'll do that after this
start
round.
up a party after this round? And
but I think just we'll leave it in the lobby, and then we're getting flanked.
oh, close.
Yeah, there was a guy from behind that got me. So they were. The thing about here that I was actually a little bit slow. As soon as you shoot someone in a situation like this, you need to turn around or run in a direction because they all know where you are.
Yeah.
So you need to be. I shot this guy in this direction. There's often going to be a guy the other way, so you need to move around quite quickly. I should really have mute for this, but that's the way it goes. A lot of people are using silencers in this, but when you get on the high level, most people don't, because you lose that damage. And if you're good at calling out, you will call out where that person is when you die anyway. So let's try to go back to A and hold that area. So you got a guy over at B. Oh my god.
So bad.
He used that pretty well. That
Yeah.
So let's see here. We have a guy who left on our team as well, so we're playing 3v4. That does not help. But there we're in a 2v1. And he needs to plan. If the time runs out now, we win.
Yeah.
So there he is. Very smart play here. He should actually. I would have waited even longer because he needs to plan.
Nice.
Yep. See here, he's clearly about to plant. I would just have waited even longer because he's pulling out his gun to plant.
Yeah. And then once he starts, he's a sitting duck.
I'm gonna try to swap gun to this one. See if we can. This is where you would often have a class with this gun, which is faster. You run faster with the submachine gun, and then overclock, so you could rush, get up here really quick. Let's see. Did we lose one or two guys? I guess only one, otherwise we would have sent last alive. Okay, there we go.
So you need to kill them and plant.
One or the other one. So I don't have to do both.
Wow.
See a guy over here. If they have found the bomb, they could just be watching that.
Oh, he was watching it.
I actually don't think he was. He probably heard me. Oh, he was running behind me the whole time. Oh, and you can use different versions of the guns, it seems. I'm gonna go back to my bow.
Clutch.
Oh my god, I am
That was
awful.
pretty bad, Nick.
Yes.
That was... And he didn't even kill you.
No. The thing I really, and that's I need to practice, is from playing Destiny, in Destiny it's like every weapon has stock, where you move way faster when you're aiming down sights than here. Where here, when you aim in, you basically don't move. All right, time for the comeback. But yeah, that was not good. I got one at least.
Right at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, we are playing 3v4 though.
Excuses. One v one.
Yeah, and he's 0-3, the other guy. Can you hear him as well? You can hear the other guy, so this is where you really want to mute. It don't last 30 or 40 seconds, but it's good to say it here for the end. And he needs to plant him, but see, he's waiting a little bit. See if we can get him. Okay, he's going to move over to B. A little bit reckless here in the middle of the street. Don't check the window, don't check the window. Alright, see, now he needs to plan now. It's almost too late. He didn't make it. So it's a 5-second plant and a 7.5-second diffuse, but see, yeah, he just waited. Probably wasn't on purpose. You see here, sometimes it can be smart. He shot at him.
Yeah.
He had to look around, you know. But yeah, I think next time we play this, it's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to play a lot of Destiny next week. The Iron Banner is there, but then after that, I'm probably going to cut way down on Destiny and start playing Call of Duty again. Got a 2-piece. That was quick. That was quick.
Wow.
All right, I'm just going to
Your
jump.
bloodshot helmet has expired.
Yes. All right, so time to join up. People can just, my thing should be open, so you can just join. And I'm gonna do, no, I don't want to clear. I want to copy L2. Copy class, where's paste? That's R2. I want to copy this one, and I want to paste it in here. So what I want to do is I want to do a version of each
With slight alterations.
With the alteration that this is mute. Hopefully I've unlocked that, yeah. I feel like that's the... I think I'm also going to remove this here, and then I'm going to put on flak jacket.
There we go.
do the same here. Oh wait.
Would you like a cold beverage?
No, thank you.
More for me.
What was the thing I was thinking here? Yeah.
So
whatever.
yeah, everybody watching, add Wicked Nick on PSN and join the
See if any
send
of
clip.
these are.
He was in the chat talking about wanting to join up.
Yeah,
So
he's here.
Oh, he's in the party already.
No, I can invite to party. Oh, he's in a party.
Ah, not our party.
But yeah,
But you
So-
can't send him an invite?
I did send him an invite.
Okay.
But so yeah, the difference I made was I'm simply copied the classes and then made one that's you have mute instead of a trophy, so you get this.
Yeah, and then a flak,
Footsteps.
flak jacket instead of the
No,
pistol.
then what I did is on the bell I removed the pistol and put on flak jacket instead. So I only have a secondary on the submachine guns.
Yep.
All right, there we have him. I'm just gonna mute him actually, and then we're gonna go find a game. All right, playlist. Let's see what we get. That did not work. All right.
Actually, did you mute or did you kick
No, I'm
send
muting.
clip? Because send clip was in there as well, wasn't
No.
Go
I think
back.
so. He's not in there.
he? But there were two there that were talking.
No.
Or was that us?
Oh, the other one was us.
Whoops.
Let's see, we get a retreat hard point. So this should be a little bit different.
Wait, go back. Saifir in the chat is saying, Nick, invite us too. But I mean, it's open, right?
It should be, but at that point it closed because we were finding. So who is we?
Saifir and I don't know.
Probably Tanya. She's
Could
in
be
the main
Sadly
menu.
as well over. Did you send one already to send clip?
No, but I don't think he's playing.
Oh yeah, he's up there.
Oh. But now we're beginning to run out of. Let's see who joins first.
One more. Yep.
If Zenclip is watching and wants to join, let us know. Then we'll do in a different play mode.
Yeah, we'll sub him in or.
Yeah, I think we'll play this round of ranked, and then we'll go do one of normal to see how that plays differently, and then we can be 6 on a team. So,
Yeah.
all right, now we're actually a team.
Yeah.
And it's great to see Tanya has not played a single map. It looks like. Actually, I really like the AK. I should make a class with that. Gun, let's see if we have time. AK, I don't have anything unlocked. I'm gonna do lightweight. I'm gonna do.
Why didn't you just copy a class?
So don't wanna just necessarily copy it. I wanna see what I'm doing. But I'm gonna do flak jacket. I am gonna do. Let's do mute. Let's just do the same. Let's do frags though.
Oh, good thing you didn't copy it.
And let's do. I guess I have room for one here. Don't want that. Let's do a pistol. Yep.
Yeah, Sanclip, he can't join, but he wants to be in. So
Okay, so
we'll do a new mode
next
next
one.
round
Yeah.
and get him in. Sorry about that, Sent.
Yeah, that's because I sent invites out to more than that was room for, and then it was
Yeah.
just whoever got in first. But yeah, and remember, in 2 weeks we go hard. In 2 weeks we will have prizes, and
And
I will have practiced.
Yeah, and we're playing on PS4 again. Then?
Yes, yeah.
I was kind of hoping it would be PC, because I want you to be here as my coach as I play.
Oh, we can do that at one point. All right. I think it would be way more
We'll
fun
skip
if-
news and do a special double hour cheer Friday night.
Maybe we should just do a double stream.
Oh snap!
2 hours of news and 2 hours of COD. I feel like we can easily talk, for long enough to make it a 2 hour news.
Bank certainly can.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say anything about Bang. I can do that as well. You know what? I think I need a submachine gun for this. Alright. Dory, do you remember the rules of hardpoint?
No. You get points for holding the hard point, and then you just need to shoot everybody that tries to take it from you.
It is the classic king of the hill.
Yeah.
There will be hills.
But then it just bounces around the map.
Yes, there are 5 spots where it can spawn. It goes through the same 5 in the same order every time. So the key to it is to learn the rotation. Learn where they're spawning in what order.
And then start moving as soon as you know that it's going
rotate before. As you notice here, because it's ranked, because it's competitive play style instead of... they actually have thread on, looks like. Is that it's 4v4 and there's a spawn delay on 2.5 seconds, I think, on hardpoint. I think it's 5 in capture the flag. The key to this is to rotate early if you know where the next one... I think the next one goes... See, there we actually had a guy there. Goes to the opposite corner, as far as I remember, if they haven't changed. So we want to move over here quickly. Otherwise, if they have a guy there and we don't, they will just be there when it spawns and get the first, seconds. See, if we'd been in here, we could have gotten 3 seconds here. The other thing is, you want to have a guy hold the hill, and then you want to have people slay around it. The best team in the world right now have their OBJ player, their hill bitch, and then they have the 3 best slayers in the game. And then they have to just focus on getting kills, and he just has to get in the hill.
Yeah.
So, of course, if you're doing good as well and have a good team, maybe you can, the first guy who makes it there will stay in the hill. And the thing about this is, it's not necessarily the team that kills the most that will win. It's it's point for holding the hill. Oh my god, I can't hit shit.
Get it. Keep it.
I hate threat grenade.
Now they know where you are.
Alright, so I guess I need class set up like that with all that shit on. But did you see UAV was banned?
Yeah, just pray and spray.
There was a guy out there.
I know. It doesn't mean you were close to hitting him.
But the thing about that is, even if he runs away, it's often good to, pre-fire. And I'm gonna switch back to my AK. And the thing is, when you're not doing too well, you'll often get in the situation where you need the scrap time. You need to stay and keep the hill at the end, where the team who's ahead can rotate early and secure the next hill.
Yeah.
Why did he not die? What are you doing?
It was the king.
I think it was Kingslayer. What's he called?
No. You've got the Kingslayer.
Yeah. Oh, that's why you're. Now we're getting. Was it this one that was the next? Right?
I don't know.
I almost pressed the wrong button here because I've been playing too much Destiny. I was pressing the melee button in Destiny instead. You don't want to do that.
Somewhere out in the void, your guardian is punching.
Yeah, if only I had my hunter throwing knives. Oh, and I got a reload glitch. That's great. So we actually need to rotate now, so I'm going to do that. See, they rotated early there. They didn't need those fucking seconds. They're set up here.
Wrong corner.
Yeah, I thought it looked like a guy. So what here you can do if you have mics and can communicate is you can time it so you all rotate in at the same time. You just keep running in one at a time, same door. It's really hard to do anything. And again here we're way too late with the rotation. I don't know if they're prolonging the game now because they want to have kills or something. This is where, when someone is in the hill, we should rotate up and slay around. So if we're just all four sitting in the hill, it's going to be too easy as well.
Yeah.
How are we doing? It's going to rotate now, so we might as well get in position.
So what is the score limit?
250. Oh, it's here? Okay.
Yeah, just give it to him. We need to get to another round.
It's only 40 seconds left of the game, so we can't.
Okay, there's also time. Okay.
Yeah. So they're just slaying for kills now. I'm going to try to make it look a little bit better.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I'll take a death or two for getting. I got on over 100 points. One thing I don't like is being what we call the 100-point club.
Yeah.
Oh. Less than optimal, but see us in 2 weeks. 10 and 20. I did get 8 captures and 2 defense. This is the way the level up thing works. You earn points and then you can rank up. So let's go in here. and say, do I have my guys here? I do, so we'll send clip and invite. While that happens, I'm gonna...
Is there anyone else in there we might wanna...
I don't think so. Let's change this up. So now we're gonna get low profile. We're gonna get cold-blooded. We're gonna get toughness and blast suppressor. I don't want this. Grip. It's gonna help a lot. Exo, we wanna get... Let's do the cheap shit. Put on UAV and
Goliath.
System hack. Send this in. Is there a particular game mode you wanna see?
What is Mosh Pit? I don't think I've seen that one before.
That is just...
Oh, okay, just
random.
Mix of everything.
Yeah.
Momentum?
You can do that. That's a little bit longer. How do we have time? We should not do that.
No.
Let's do uplink. I'm shit at that, but that's different. It's new. Competitive this year is 3 classic modes: S&D, capture the flag, and hardpoint, which is what we saw in Black Ops 2.
Pop back and invite this username if you can actually read it.
Yeah. So in Black Ops 2 we had S&D, search and destroy, hardpoint, and capture the flag. Changed into Ghost, but now we're back to those 3. But they've added uplink, which is the game with the ball, and they've changed some of the rules with that.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? We shouldn't play that. Let's play something else. Let's play hardpoint again. I've changed my mind.
Our team deathmatch will take our team.
Let's do hardpoint again, and then.
The hardpoint takes a long time.
No, it's 10 minutes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, there he is. And we can see, maybe we'll get the same map, otherwise we'll, it's similar to, I don't want to play that. I want to play BioLab then. But next Friday I want to go hard.
In 2 weeks' time.
I'm going to be ready next time, that's what I'm saying. Next week I'm going to play Destiny, and then after that it's going to be Call of Duty.
You have to come back and defend your honor.
Yeah.
Or rather reclaim it.
Yeah. I'll do okay. This is also, don't do too well now, and then I'll have...
set the bar low and then smash it. Yeah. Go team.
And here I actually know the
rotation.
I think so. I at least kind of know. I knew this was the first area at least. They're gonna rush here.
Throw a nade.
No.
Friend.
Oh shit, there's a guy here. I made a mistake. I think I should have set up another submachine gun class. Oh. Alright, we need to rotate. We're already too late. Alright, I might actually get good spawns on this. I think it's actually here. That was perfect. See, this is the other thing you have to think about. Yeah, but it's like,
Yeah.
if I had been a better slayer, it would have helped even more, but... Almost got a 2-piece. All right, we're rotating too late again. I think it's going over here. Oh. Let's go the smart way. Look at the minimap. They'll probably come from this side, as we see a yellow arrow coming from the right.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like one guy's coming here now. As you can see, this is the spot where everyone is at, so they know I'm probably up here.
Now you're keeping this point pretty well, actually.
Yeah. And I think we're actually going to rotate now.
Yeah.
I think it's up here on this one, actually. Yep. See how they killed? They shouldn't have gone for those last couple of seconds.
Yeah, they should.
I ended up dying, but that is where sometimes it's actually you shouldn't kill people. Why did I? What the fuck? And was that 5? Are we going back? Or do we have one more? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's one more. So it's going to be over here. I think it's probably in here. They're making.
Didn't you see him?
Yeah, I was just like, I'm gonna, I know I didn't have time to turn around and shoot him, so I was like, I was just gonna hope I could get around the corner and then shoot at him from that point. Oh, yeah, here it is. Oh, missed that nade. Push in, push in, push in, push in. The other thing is here, you know, sometimes it's bad to die, but the other thing is sometimes it's good to push in and contest so they don't get points. You know, if we're both in there, no one gets the point.
Oh yeah. And then sometimes they kill you and you spawn right next to where the hard point is going to be.
Yeah. I'm actually going to flank around now. I put up a UAV. See, like, now I need to play smart, because they have a UAV up. They think they can see everyone. I have the UAV counter thing on. You know? So
yeah.
they think they can see where I am. So I'm gonna, this is gonna be even more of a flank. If I can just shoot then as well, then. Now we need to push out a little bit. And then it was
winning by a hair.
Yeah, so we're started the second rotation.
Lasse, you're not off work yet? Cannon turned off?
The fuck is that? I don't remember what that shit is. So that's the other problem. I've been watching too much, you know, of the rank play, where a lot of this shit,
all the fancy stuff isn't allowed.
yeah, all the cheap shit. And even like cloak and stim is actually allowed, was allowed, but the pros just agreed amongst themselves that not to use it because they thought it was cheap.
Mm.
Alright, I'm gonna rotate now. That sucks. I hate that. That should not be in there. See, we rotated late. Oh, yeah, it's one of those.
There's a Titan.
There's a Goliath here.
Oh, Goliath, I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
Called the
But
Titan.
that is funny because that's like they implemented a no Titan mode in Titanfall,
Yeah.
and they added a fucking Titan thing looking here. The thing is, if you shoot him in his back, he's super weak.
Yeah.
I forget to use my fucking stim all the time. He's up in the corner. So they're actually making the comeback now. Where was the next one? Was that up on the hill? See, we're rotating too late again. It's up here, right? Yeah. What?
Oh.
They get another one.
So if you stay alive for long enough, the Exo will reboot, but if you're killed, the reboot sequence will restart, or?
No, I don't think so.
That's what it looks like.
See, now they're just killing us with that shit. That's not good.
Got a minute 12 seconds left of the round. Run out of time on the stream. We'll finish this round.
I think it's 2 knives in the back, maybe 3, and he'll die.
Mm-hmm.
Another loss.
Yeah, that's it. And we are out of time.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about doing something a little bit atypical here because this is the last day that Lasse is working here.
Yes.
He's the one that has been behind the camera the most, I believe. And of course, has been with us for he's been here longer than I have.
Yeah.
But he finished his education, so he's moving on to, well, hopefully brighter and better things. But I'm going to let him do the outro. Here you go.
Thanks, man. Oh,
Hey.
Hey.
So look into the camera.
I made it. I made it. Yeah, I'm gonna be.
So now it's not going to be an announcement that you're like, I'm quitting the job of being behind the camera, but I'm the new host.
That would be awesome. Now I'm here, so I'm gonna be.
We should actually have had Lasse play the last round as well.
That would be bad. I think Do is better than me.
Well, he wasn't even playing either, so.
No.
But yeah, so
This is it.
this is it for now,
It's
at
come to
least.
an end. Yeah. Hopefully I'll join sometime in the future.
Yeah,
Maybe as a freelancer or something.
yeah, and it sounds like it's not ruled out that you could join us on some trips maybe, and
Yeah.
and you're
The
not.
boss said maybe E3.
Yeah, and I mean now I know you probably don't want to go with us, but
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss it.
yeah.
Mm.
So I don't know. Anything you want to say, or is it just?
Well, just thanks for now. It's been awesome. really enjoyed it. Been a pleasure.
Yeah, same for me.
And,
Hope to see you again. Hope we'll see you at some events and also maybe in the chat or something some days.
Definitely. Yeah, I will join from time to time.
Nice.
Definitely. Yeah. So, see you on the flip side.